Hi, I'm Avery Davidson.
And I'm Kristen Oaks White. Well, every few years, the conversation in the ag world rolls back around to the Farm Bill. This is an important package of legislation that affects way more than the farmers and ranchers who put food on our tables and clothes on our backs.
Congress is supposed to approve a new farm bill every 5 years, and note I said supposed to. The bill covers everything from conservation programs and crop insurance to school, lunch, and nutrition programs. This week, TWILA's Karl Wiggers takes us to Acadia Parish, where Congressman Clay Higgins was talking about this very important issue.
The pork is on the grill and the crowd is gathered around Jared Fry's farm to hear from their Congressman, Clay Higgins, what's happening in Washington, D.C. One of the most timely issues discussed was the upcoming Farm Bill.
This Farm Bill is going to make or break this country.
Jared Fry is a rice and crawfish farmer near Crowley and serves as the Acadia Parish Farm Bureau president. He's excited to host this lunch to recognize the elected officials in his area and bring them to the table with Farm Bureau members.
Clay Higgins has been a friend to agriculture, and as president of Acadia Parish Farm Bureau here, I serve on the board in Acadia Parish here, and he's been a true friend to the American farmer.
Congressman Higgins is also excited to see the new and improved Farm Bill, which has been years in the making.
We've been working on language for a couple of years, working closely with our farmers, our processors, and Farm Bureau in my office. And we have a lot of language written into the bill text of the new Farm Bill reauthorization that will be released sometime in the next few weeks, actually.
We'll actually have a bill out in the public, and the Ag Committee in the House intends to start debate and start hashing that out and figuring out what priorities make it and what don't. And we're pretty optimistic that a lot of ours are going to be on the positive side, at least with this House Ag rollout through Chairman G.T. Thompson's plan.
Louisiana Farm Bureau National Affairs Coordinator Andy Brown has been in constant contact with staff with Louisiana's entire congressional delegation. Earlier this year, he led a group of Louisiana Farm Bureau's young farmers and ranchers to Capitol Hill to discuss some of those priorities. However, he says meetings like this one in Crowley are so valuable for the congressman and the farmers he represents.
We can bring members to D.C. all we want, but everybody's in a suit and rotating out 15 minutes at a time. Where we've really moved the needle with somebody like a Clay Higgins, who came into his seat not being super familiar with ag, or at least with our issues within ag, and meetings just like Mr. Fry had on his farm. Mr. Higgins will tell you himself more eloquently than I can say, but that's really what's helped educate him, and that's what he's about. He'd much rather be on the farm in blue jeans talking about it than to be in D.C., but thankfully we have folks like him who are public servants who carry it all the way up there and tackle our issues on Capitol Hill.
So gathering with men and women like this on a regular basis is super important, not just for me as their congressman, but for me as a man, to hear from a boots on the ground level what the concerns are and the hopes and aspirations of our farmers, young and old.
Now, Higgins returns to the Beltway knowing exactly what the farmers and ranchers in his district need.
We do need this Farm Bill to keep us in business, and it's so important to the whole industry, not just rice. It's in every commodity, from your corn to your soybeans to your cane farmers to cotton farmers, every farming commodity out there.
Based on the latest report from the Congressional Research Service, the new Farm Bill is expected to cost in the ballpark of $1.4 trillion over the next 10 years. Now, for reference, more than 80% of that preliminary price tag is devoted to nutrition-based programs. And guys, Farm Bill is a topic I feel like we've already been talking about for a couple of years, but one thing that we see all the time out in the field, Farm Bureau is always a place and kind of creating that central place for folks like Congressman Higgins to meet with those farmers on farms like that. And I really enjoyed that part of this event. And it was very casual, very, he was just milling about. But that's really what makes, I think, Farm Bureau super powerful, is that ability to meet.
I know we see some of it in your package, but also what was sort of the level of engagement there amongst the members who were meeting there with Congressman Higgins?
We almost missed lunch. Everybody was asking questions, and they're talking Farm Bill, talking, the upcoming election, of course, but also other issues not really related to ag, but just related like what these folks were interested in. And yeah, he was talking, and they were asking questions, and it wouldn't stop. And I mean, he had to get ripped away just so he can get a quick bite before he had to get to his next place. But food was also really good. So
That helps.
it's nice.
Karl Wiggers, thanks so much for bringing us this grassroots in action story.